Here's a clip from our podcast, the Club Ambition Podcast, aka CAP.
They gon' let me for my ambition.
That's crazy.
Kendrick Lamar, we saw the live stream. You guys watched it with us. Kendrick Lamar did the concert, right? What are our thoughts after watching the concert and a week later, basically? A week later after the Kendrick Lamar concert. You know, I think that there was way more attention to detail than we gave it credit to, where E40 narrated the whole concert, right? E40 is one of my favorite voices in the history of hip hop. Me and Eric always have that ongoing joke of like the garbage can, like that voice that E40 does, where like he emphasized like it's mad funny, but it's very unique and it's very West Coast. It's very Bay Area, yay area, and is a representation of California. Why would he do that, right? Because Kendrick Lamar, his albums are thematic. Last album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, Kodak Black is like a narrator for the album, right? And then we already know Good Kid, Mad City has like these voices narrating the album.
The skits in between songs.
Right? These skits,
Girl,
right?
I want your body.
You want your body.
I want your body, your big old fat ass.
Right?
Girl.
And then it's like, he knew that this is not just a regular performance. It needs a narrator. And then you have E40 right away. He's like, this is a victory lap. Blah, 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 right? This is not a regular robot. Narrating like, oh shit. Like this is an amazing event, giving it the energy that it needs, and as a representation of LA. After this, we have Charlamagne the God now saying that Kendrick Lamar is the king of hip hop, the king of rap. Joe Budden said that Kendrick Lamar is the king of every coast, not just the West Coast, all coasts, right? We have Snoop Dogg saying that he's that again as a reminder. Remember, he passed him the baton, right? Or is it called the baton? What's it called when you pass the torch?
The torch.
He passed him the torch
Baton,
years
whatever.
ago. Like this is yours. This is LA is yours now. But he reminded people like Kendrick Lamar is the king. You're the king, right? Because of this. Like this is what you did now. This solidifies you as the king. Do you guys feel that way? I do feel like that performance was some classic shit. And because we're going to get into it in a second, right? The music video shit. But even prior to the music video, the idea of having all these people on stage and everything that he did. Dude, I don't think that. There's an argument online, people saying like Drake could do something like that. I don't really think he could have. I think he's done OVO Fest. You know, we saw OVO Fest. But even the OVO Fest I never sensed a sense of Toronto homeness.
It was never like a thing to like bring.
Like Toronto, Canada people.
Yeah.
You never seen like Justin Bieber pop out.
Yeah, bring all the sections together and shit.
Like a bunch of just Canadian artists. We never seen it. Maybe moments of like highlighting them. But this was epic. Like this was something that we've probably have never seen before, if you think about it. I don't recall anything like this.
Too many sets up there, bro.
It's too many gang unities. The Black Hippie reunion shit. And then remember we were like, was it Whitney, the wife? Of course, the wife was there. 2 T's. I got 2 T's with me. I'm snatching, chasing, burning tattoos. He was in the crowd with Punch. Punch was in the crowd. Everyone was there.
Abel was
Dave Free was there. He took a photo with Elliot Wilson.
Yeah.
He was behind the boards, like I predicted. He was behind the boards, adjusting shit, the lights and everything. Everyone was there. The Weeknd was there.
LeBron,
Like, how's the Weeknd there?
Rick Ross.
Rick Ross was there.
YG, but he's one of Drake's shooters.
Yeah, YG. The Game wasn't there, and the Game did like a whole 15-minute video saying like basically he has no horse in this race. Like
And then Kendrick's boy responded back and said, "You don't want us to show the video we have of you getting your ass beat."
Yeah, Kendrick's boy was alluding to like some gang shit, like basically saying like, you know to like not talk shit, whatever, blah blah blah.
Because we got you on footage.
Like something there's like an animosity between them, some shit.
Yeah.
Right? Which is kind of like whatever. I didn't like that because I get that, but then maybe keep that person between y'all. But when you bring it to social media, I mean, the Game was pretty neutral, but they probably just don't like that neutral shit. There's no neutral shit with this, I guess. That's what's going on. But then why is Kendrick saying this is not about? This is bigger than the.
But that's the thing. Kendrick's the one saying that. His team ain't.
His team ain't saying yeah.
I think
Niggas still want smoke.
Yeah, bro.
the game brought that upon himself. The way he moves, the way he acts. For them to talk to him like that is like, bro, you did this to yourself by alienating yourself. Going on the internet with Whack 100 talking mad junk about a bunch of people. Like, people are gonna feel the way. You have to accept the repercussions for your decisions.
Remember the Game came out and spoke after the Super Bowl because he didn't like how
Dr. Dre, that was another thing people were saying, yeah.
Dr. Dre didn't have him there because he had a lot of LA artists. He could have had the Game. He could have done one of those songs with 50 Cent. Like, he has a lot of classic records. The Game, in my opinion, is one of the greatest rappers of all time. He was one of my favorite rappers growing up. But he has some of the best hip hop albums of all time.
No, he's one of the
he has one of the greatest discographies of all time.
If his run with 50 was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. If he wasn't corny, he'd be one of the greatest rappers of all time, undisputably. But because he's corny, it just doesn't work for him.
Because he does
corny things.
He does a lot of things that is like, I think didn't he have like that girl, was it India Westbrook? Like, he was fingering her on, remember that video, that photo of her, like he was fingering that girl on in the grass?
Yeah.
And like licking his finger, and it's like, oh, this nigga's fingering her.
Yeah.
Paparazzi caught it.
I don't remember.
But then
that.
it came out that she might have been like 18 at the time. Like, legal, but young.
Young.
And it's like,
a young album cover filled with pregnant women. He does corny things.
yeah.
So does Drake, though.
Oh, of course. That's probably why they're friends. God bless. My thing was this, Vic. Let me ask you this question.
Those are Noel's words, by the way. I do not want to call no blood member corny. I want no problems. I do not want. Those are Noel's words.
I think if you can't handle someone's criticism of your behavior, then you lack a level of maturity in society. I apologize.
You know why
God
I think
bless.
that he does lack maturity, though? Because of the fact that he even did that Instagram Live.
I agree.
Because the whole Instagram Live, bro, he said things that didn't need to be said. Like, Top Dog wanted to give me half a TD at one point. I didn't want it. I was like, what are you talking about?
That is unnecessary.
What the fuck, bro?
He's such a liar.
Like, what are you talking? And he be like gassing shit sometimes. Like, I
he's a
feel like
liar.
he'd be lying. People say he's lying. I think he just exaggerates, which is technically lying.
Come on, he has a history of lying, Vic. He has a history of lying. That's why you're laughing. You just don't want to say it because he's a blood, but that nigga has a history of lying. We all know it in hip hop. Yo, the Game is a habitual liar, and it's okay. It's okay to say these things. We know it is fine. Who cares?
I mean, we are on cap. You know, the Game do be capping, I guess. Yeah, he does be capping. He be capping.
My thing is this, Vic. You really think it's because of the Dre shit? Because, bro, the niggas on that stage had real murder beef, and they decided to stand on that stage together despite the legitimate death of their friends causing issues between each other. So the Game saying something negative about Dre is the reason he didn't get invited. Come on, let's be for real. There's something else going on. It's bigger than beef. It's bigger than murder beef. Whatever the issue is with Game and these people.
Wasn't he the
That's
one?
my argument.
Wasn't the Game talking about he wanted beef with Rick Ross because Rick Ross went against Drake?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that kind of come off as like you're siding with Drake?
It kind of does come off.
It does
that way.
come off that way.
Because Rick Ross ain't never mentioned the Game, and then he's over here trying to come at him for making that diss track towards Drake.
I feel like
And it
something
was so
happened in the
fucking
background.
random.
Yeah. I feel like something had to have happened in the background that was worse than murder beef. You know how crazy that is?
Baca did post to stay on the concert. Baca posted like Drake performing, and then he was like, "This is how it's done," some shit like that. And it was a dope clip. But I'm like,
Of what? OVO Fest?
no, it was like a performance that Drake was doing, like, and it was a dope crowd reaction, like he was turned up. But I'm like, it's like an older one. It might have been OVO Fest. I don't know. The stage was lit up, so I don't think it was OVO Fest. It might have been like an older concert when he had like the LED stage, like two tours ago. Because I went to that one. But what the fuck does that have to do with anything?
It's hate.
Like, these guys, like, there's still smoke, I guess, obviously.
Is there any? Has there been? Because I don't follow Drake. Has there been any like Instagram captions, post stories?
The ones that we saw where he posted and he was like Summer League.
Yeah.
And it's like, what does that mean? Are you calling these guys Summer League? People in the comments were like, yo, he's just saying that these guys are Summer League, like these
Talent.
are lower scale artists. The ones that came out with him. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Cause bro, why do you like if you still want to have smoke with the West Coast, I don't think like Drake understands like let's stop poking that bear. Like, why are we still poking that bear? Like, these niggas is unified
Pride.
on some gang shit. Like, do you genuinely think you could probably go to LA right now? You can't. You're Drake, but I think that's out the question. Like, go to the Delilahs and wear all of my ice. Sounds dope on a record. But go to Delilah. Nigga, Delilah's not in Compton, where you used to go to do videos with the Game. And that's not going to happen anymore. You can't do nothing like that.
They were on Twitter saying he was scared of getting out of the car when they did that video.
You know?
Let me ask you a question.
I mean,
Vic.
he doesn't have to go to the hood. Don't get me wrong. You're Drake, but...
Let me ask you a real deal question. Do you believe that Drake could ever have that moment in Toronto? Because all Drake has ever done with Canada is divided. That is the argument on Twitter.
He can't. He can't have that. That's a good question, because the answer is that he can't. Why can't he? Because Drake has beef right now with another major collective out of Toronto, and allegedly they're the ones behind the shootings that were happening at his house in Toronto.
Thank you.
Allegedly, right? The XO beef, allegedly, because there was shootings at the XO house in LA, allegedly. So there could be a connection between that.
And when has
right?
Kendrick ever done that? Especially publicly.
And how can you bring a grand gathering of Toronto if you got Mr. Toronto The Weeknd at Kendrick's concert? You got SZA, right? SZA, who Drake has multiple songs with, has dated in the past, right? One of his biggest songs in recent times, Rich Baby Daddy, SZA's on it. SZA was at the Kendrick concert. And it's like, okay, she's there, she wants to represent for TDE, that's one thing. But then she snuck in, basically, because she has like this like babushka, and like she's like covering her face. She has like these big glasses. That's not a fashion statement. She's trying to be like sneaky. But it's like, you're fucking SZA.
Same thing like The Weeknd. The Weeknd was just
And The
He was there
Weeknd kind of
just
had
like he's in
like
the
the
crowd.
outfit like that, right?
A lot of them were like that.
Trying to like
LeBron
hide the
just in
fact that they're
crowd.
there.
Yeah.
You guys are there.
Yeah.
You're there. Not like us ring off 6 fucking times. You're there while it's happening.
So now let me defend Drake here, because this is what I seen, and I really thought about this for real. If you use the argument that king of hip hop is someone that is in the culture the way Kendrick is right now, making music, doing events, putting people on, who's better at doing that? Drake or Kendrick? And who's going to continue to do it at the rate that is necessary to hold that title of king of hip hop? Because my argument was, for the past 10 years, y'all can say whatever the fuck you want. Drake's held us down.
Yeah.
He's put features with artists we've never heard
nobody's
of.
arguing that.
He's introduced us to new people. He's done festivals. He's done a bunch of shit. I, in my life, will never say this. I'm sorry. I don't see Kendrick ever doing that.
That's why I haven't said that myself yet. I haven't said that shit myself yet. All these people online, you can get caught up in the heat of the moment, right? And that's fine, because I saw that shit.
Well,
I'm
saying
like,
that Kendrick will become like a high, huge performing on stage artist.
I think
bigger
Kendrick Lamar,
than Drake.
I think Kendrick Lamar is one of the
I don't
greatest
even
rappers.
think he'll get to that level.
I think he's one of the greatest rappers of all time.
I agree.
I think he has the potential to become the king of hip hop more than anyone else.
For sure.
I agree.
After Drake, it's Kendrick, in my opinion.
I agree.
But what does Kendrick Lamar have to do? He has to kind of
consistent.
play in Drake's field as far as being more consistent. And people are like, I don't want Kendrick to be consistent because his albums are good. Okay, I'm not saying to drop every year, but drop every 2 years. Drop every 3 years. Be consistent in your dropping.
You don't have to drop an album every year, but you can drop an album and then, singles or some features.
Be
You know what I'm
around here. But
Yeah.
show us that you care, that you're here around still, right? Because if you want to claim that top 5, you're smoking on top 5, you're number 1, fuck a big 3, you still have to be around, right? Now Drake and the beef brought him around. So we had to say that it's because of the Drake energy and the beef and his hate for Drake is what got him in his bag as well. Because if this shit was trash, we would call it out. He's in his bag. Mm-hmm. He's rapping amazingly. His energy, you could say he's rapped better in the past. There's a more lyrical performance of him, which I would say.
By Kendrick?
By Kendrick, hell
Of
yeah.
course.
100%.
Hell yeah.
Section
For sure.
80, rigor
Section
mortis.
80, yeah, rigor mortis is enough.
For sure.
100%. That's like a peak levels of Kendrick rapping
Yeah.
that's back then. But the energy that he's having, the attitude, is to a level that we've never seen from him. He's on a superstar status right now. He could do a tour right now worldwide, potentially sold out.
I
I
agree.
don't know if he can. He needs an album.
I
Whatever
agree.
the next album is going to be critical because people are looking at Kendrick Lamar with different eyes right now.
I agree.
They said it. They were interviewing people in Compton. What were they saying in the streets? They were like, we've always fucked with him. But they were like, but this right now, like the way he's unifying everyone right now is different. So if he goes off of the energy, that's different energy that he has, which I think he never expected. He knew like I can body Drake, but I can body him and unify my fucking towns, unify all these gangs, unify a whole state.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know I could do this. I didn't plan on doing it. This was God's energy. It happened. So now he can take advantage of that, right? Do an album, a West Coast album. People always wanted Kendrick to go in that bag, West Coast bag, not like us vibes, right? And he could do maybe his best album of all time. He can easily do that because like I still feel like if he drops an album this year, it's selling 1 million copies. It's selling 1 million copies.
Okay, I agree with everything you said. This is where the king of hip hop thing, I still don't agree with it. It will end. He will never go on the run Drake did. This might last a year of him being outside, and he'll immediately go back inside. I don't think he has the personality for this.
He cares enough for it.
I don't think he cares enough for it either. And honestly, I almost had hope, bro. A little bit. When I seen the videos of like the Not Like Us being shot, and he was so happy. Like he was smiling, he was enjoying doing it.
So let's talk about that then right now.
But this is my thing. A lot of people are alluding to that and saying, oh, this is like showing us Drake. He can do this. He can be the next Drake. He can be in front of the camera. He can consistently drop. Yo, you can enjoy something in the moment and easily say, that was great for now, but I want to move on. And I think that's what he might do. I think he's going to give everything you say is going to happen. He's going to give us the album. He's going to unify city, but he's going to disappear at the end of this.
They gon' love me for my ambition.
And that was a clip from our podcast, the Club Ambition podcast, Cap. If you're looking to watch the full episode, make sure to go check it out right now. It's available on audio and also on YouTube.